this is the Dubb dashboard. Now, what Dubb does, for those of you that aren't familiar, it's really an all-in-one. I know it's a term that's thrown around a lot, but it's an all-in-one video tool. And when I say that, I know Paige has mentioned that the tech fatigue as well here. So we allow you to do really everything you could need to do with video in one tool. So the creation of the video, meaning we can create these videos with one click from almost wherever you're at. We have a Chrome extension here. The way this guy works is you just click it, gives you access to either your screen recording. It's a little delayed because the size of the Zoom right now and multi-camera access, but we can record the screen. You can record your webcam down there. It can even be your profile picture, say if you're feeling camera shy, or even just your voice. And we can record either the full screen or just the partial screen, or even just our webcam, all from the tool here. And so I just want to really quickly show you something that people are doing on LinkedIn. Like I said, we're going to talk more about this, but here's like a strategy people are doing for video creation that is really effective, and it'll kind of segue into our next thing, which is how Dubb customizes the videos as well. So like, let's say I wanted to reach out to Ruben here, and he was a prospect of mine, and I wanted to get his attention. Here's something that we're teaching our clients, and then is having really cool success in getting clicks, engagement, and replies. So we would start like this. Hey, Ruben, I just wanted to reach out to you. I noticed we had a bunch of mutual connections, and I really thought that we're going to be an awesome fit because we're in the same business and we work with each other. So obviously the script would be much better than that. But the idea here is, let me go ahead and upload that. This video here, I just created in 15 seconds or whatever it is. And that's as easy as the creation is. So one click from wherever you are, your Chrome extension, we even have direct integration with LinkedIn. So I could actually record the video right inside LinkedIn as well. So there's a little button here. You can see there's a Dubb button right inside of LinkedIn. So this same integration is inside of LinkedIn. It's inside of Gmail. It's inside of dozens of CRMs like Salesforce and HubSpot. So, and then most importantly, it's on the Chrome extension there. So one-click recording access. There's also the mobile app, which is really cool. It has some very neat functionality where you can start the video facing yourself. You can pause it and flip the camera around and show other things. And you can even upload clips from your camera roll into the app and splice them all together into one seamless video. You can add text and emojis and all kinds of cool stuff in there, and even music. So it's like a full video editing application right on your mobile device. And so that's what I mean by the first part, which is video creation. So one-click access on your computer, and then one-stop shop on your mobile device. So whatever you're comfortable with, whatever you live behind, whether it's your cell phone or your laptop or your tablet, you're gonna have the ability to make your videos instantly. Now, here was that video I made, right? We saw me record this video here. Now, what Dubb does is I wanna show you guys what this video looks like now when we're sending it through. The first thing is what it looks like in like an email or a text message or social media or something like that. So when I copy this, I can put this into any channel I want using this method. This is a universal kind of share and send method where I can put this into email or text or social media or a CRM, you name it. I can paste this message into just about any channel. And the way it's going to show up is going to be just like this. So when I paste that video in there, you see it was just a quick paste. Oh, wait, there we go. Everything's a little slow here. And you can see this is the video that I made for Ruben. And now this is going to be really interesting for the prospect on the other end, because it's not just my face or it's not something of mine. You know, like if you're sending a link over to someone, they don't know who you are yet, especially in the prospecting world. They don't know who you are yet. Or even if it's a video, that's going to be a step up from a link. But if it's just something of ours, maybe that's not the most interesting they can think they can see from us. It's most likely going to be something of theirs, because everyone has that what's in it for me mentality, right? Like, what's in it for me? And if they can see that at a glance, oh, video for Ruben, oh, this is my LinkedIn or my website or something of mine, they're going to instantly recognize that and realize that you've maybe done your homework. So there's one thing. And this is the thumbnail that's automatically generated. You can see it has a little timestamp there. So this is what they're going to see on their end. And if they sent this through a text message, it's going to be similar. So it'll have the link. And if they're on iPhone, it will show this preview. If they're on like a Windows phone, it might not. Certain Androids do, certain Androids don't. Kind of hit or miss with some previews. And then for social media, like LinkedIn or Facebook, it will still show the animated preview, just like it does here inside of email. So you can see there some animated previews, my little face, LinkedIn thing, and the URL as well. So regardless of the channel you're sending it through, you get the preview, you can get the personalization, video for Frank, and in that way, you get the highest chance of actually getting your message clicked on and listened to. So that was the first layer. I know that was a long layer of creation. So the next thing is what we talked about, what it looks like in the thumbnail. What does it look like on the video page itself though? So they click this, right? They receive this in their email or their text message or wherever. They click this button or they click the video, wherever they click, it's gonna take them to a video page. And you guys saw, remember I created this thing in 15 seconds. And this is what they're gonna experience. It's gonna be a page, a fully built page, just like this, where you have your logo in the top left, your watermark automatically embedded. This is an exit intent pop-up. So when they go to leave the page, that's when this shows up. Custom background image, even the player color, all that's customized as well. And then that brings me to the most important parts of these pages though, which is the playlist and the preset, or the CTAs. The way the playlist works is, this is pretty phenomenal, especially for people going into video and trying to do things at a scalable effort. The way it works is right at the end of this first video. So you saw I made this for Ruben. Hey, Ruben, first name, check it out just for you. And then it goes into created a pre-recorded video. So this one happens to be an explainer video where we go into the details about what Dubb can do and has some animations and screenshots and graphics and things like that. And then after that, it goes into a testimonial video. And then so these videos play back to back without anyone having to click play an additional time or do anything else. And so where that becomes really beneficial is I can now quickly create a custom video where I say, hey, first name, you're special and I'm making this video just for you. And me and my team made a video and you're gonna love it. Here it is. And then it goes into that video where then you've been able to do like some more production value. You've been able to put, like we did here with this video, we made this, I couldn't produce this with just my screen recorder. We had Shannon, our creative director, produce this video. So it's great. And this is something that, even individuals can do. You can put a little bit more elbow grease, a little bit more effort into this recyclable video and then leverage it with your custom content. And then you can even add on things like social proof, like case studies or testimonials or anything like that. And so the idea here again is you create one quick video and then it's automatically gonna sandwich your other content on there. And in addition to the playlist, the CTA buttons get added automatically as well. And then speaking of CTAs, these buttons can do really anything we need them to. You can have them fill out a form, meaning we can build the form right on Dubb. You can have leads get generated. You can have even external forms. So if you have a CRM or like a Jot form or whatever you're using, you can embed those forms right here on Dubb. So you can have them fill out internal or external forms. You can have them download attachments. They can make a phone call or a text message. Like literally anything you can think of, we can set up these buttons to do just about anything. Even reply with video. So one-click access, they don't have to download, sign up, or install anything, and they can send you a video testimonial, which then you can download and put it on your playlist or do whatever you need to. Also direct calendar integration, webinar integration, and more to come, guys. So hundreds of functionalities with the CTAs here. Now, when I showed you this video here that I created in 15 seconds, this whole page came along with it. And the reason this page was built in this way is based off of what we call a preset. So this is what that looks like. This little preset right here, you can see it says Darius 1. Now, if I change that to Ruben, you're gonna see that's gonna change this whole page here. So instead of the light blue playlist and the videos and those buttons, it's now different colors, different buttons, different assets. So that's what a preset does. And based on what we have as our default and where our use cases are, we can have multiple presets. So like, for example, a real estate client of ours would have a buyer preset. They would have a seller preset. They would have a listing presentation preset, or several of those depending on buyer's agent, seller's agent. And now across every different industry and profession we're working with, everyone has different use cases that they're after, whether they're in prospecting mode or follow-up mode or newsletter mode where they're reaching out, lots of different use cases for these presets. And the idea, again, is to just make the customization of these video pages easier than ever before. Not to talk about anyone else out there, but it has never been easier to build video landing pages. I'll tell you that. It's like 2 seconds, it's done. So that's what the customization is of the videos. That's the second part here of my little presentation. So we talked about the creation, and now we've talked about the customization, which is just making sure both the wrapper and the packaging of the video, it's all branded, it's all cohesive, and it's all designed to help you drive conversions for your business. Because that's really what this call and this message is all about, is using video and storytelling to drive conversions. So that's the creation. The last thing I'm going to touch on here is the distribution. So what Dubb does in addition to the creation and the customization is you can send these videos out through any method you're either already using or thinking about using or anything like that. So let's say email. We have direct integration with Gmail, Outlook, and dozens of CRMs, and also email tools like MailChimp and things like that. So you'll have Dubb icons right inside of those tools. And the way those work is just like this. Let me delete this message and you'll see from scratch. So the little Dubb icons there, give it a click. This gives you access to your library of videos, which here's that video I just recorded for Ruben, and I can drop it in there. And so that's how I can send any video one-to-one. This works with Outlook or Gmail. And then, as I mentioned, we have direct integration with email tools like MailChimp and things like that. And so even if we don't have a direct integration, I showed you guys that universal kind of share and send method where I can copy this and put it into any channel I want, whether it's a CRM or a social media channel or anything like that. So there's universal method here, direct integration with dozens of channels, and then also text messaging. You can paste the same link into text messages and it goes out the same way. So there's CRMs, social, email, and through the tools you're already using. Lastly, Dubb also provides the ability to send out large campaigns. So like you can connect your email, you can connect your Outlook or your Gmail or any SMTP provider directly to Dubb and then send out either bulk campaigns or automations. So I'll just quickly show you here what that looks like. Actually, many of you are here today because you received a video that was sent out through our campaign tool here for the promotion of the webinar. So you can see that one here, Dubb webinar, sent 20,000 plus emails. So that was using our Amazon connected email here. And that is what that looks like for the automation, or sorry, the campaigns. Just go ahead and take a look at that. You can see who's watched, who's clicked, all the great things that Dubb provides, which is also part of the distribution. I didn't really mention that, but you can see specifically who watched, who clicked, what percentage of the video that they watched. You can even filter it. So I can come in here and, like I say, just want to know who viewed my videos. And okay, Brad watched it. Let's follow up with Brad. So that way you can really get very granular analytics on all your videos. You can see the performance, 36% CTA click rate. How about that? Typical CTA click rates, even on warm campaigns, are like 10% at most. So 40% CTA click rate, that's what Dubb's all about. Okay, so this is a campaign tool, and then the other one here was automation. So automation is the ability to build out sequences of emails and text messages that go out automatically based on the rules that you've set up. So here's an example of one that we built, which is a series of text messages that go out just based on delays. So this is an example of a simple automation. And this is actually something we recommend people to start with if they're new to it. So don't go crazy and have all these different steps and all that yet, it's down the road. If you're new to automation, we recommend starting with something simple like this. A trigger happens, like you add a contact or you add a tag to a contact, or perhaps the contact does a certain action, like watches a video or clicks a CTA. And that triggers the automation, which then can be emails or text messages or a series of those. Like I said, this one's 3 text messages that goes out over a period of, or 4 text messages over a period of 5 days or so, or a week, something like that. So this is the example of automation and something that Dubb does as well. And you can also take Dubb videos and put those in external automations like HubSpot workflows or whatever you're using. So again, we can do it all inside of Dubb here. Like we talked about the tech fatigue a little bit. This is what Dubb can do. So you have one piece of technology that's going to do everything for you. Or if you like gluing stuff together and you like 15 pieces and you love each and every one of them equally, then you're good and you can continue to do that, and we'll help you out there as well. So that is the quick demo here of what Dubb does to kind of create an ability for people to get video out there. Now we have no excuses. We have all the tools we need, with all the bells and whistles to make it not only easy, but really effective. It's not just a blank video on a page. We're not sending them to YouTube where they're going to click advertisements and distractions. It's nothing like that. It's like the equivalent of a cold call from a robot dialer versus like a very experienced person on the phone who's going to be able to take you through a process and from a cold to a sale. That's the difference between like a blank video page and a fully built one. So, okay, I'm gonna stop talking for a little bit now. We're gonna talk with Paige, and Paige is gonna tell us exactly what her solution is and how her clients are using it. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna stop my share. Paige, take it away.
Cool, awesome, thank you. Let's see, it says who can share. Here we go. Let me share my screen. I've got some slides for you guys. I would love for this to be interactive, so please, comment in the thread here. Thank you for sharing that, because you showed what I was hoping you would show, just the ease of this tool, right? How amazing is this, you guys? All right, let me share this presentation. Cool. Are you seeing my slides?
We sure can, yeah. And I was going to say, I'll be in the chat, guys. I'm going to be going and answering some back questions in there if they haven't been answered already. So continue to ask away, fire away. Don't stop asking questions.
Awesome. All right, you guys, I'm so freaking excited to be here. I love these guys at Dubb, and they've always made my life easier and just been good friends and good supporters. So my presentation is how to record your way to a sale a day. And it's by telling your stories, right? And building a 6-figure sales process that you can do with Dubb. So let me kick into it. My goal for this webinar is to empower you with an incredibly effective formula, or at least a perspective shift for generating more leads and sales without complicating the technology. And so what kinds of sales am I talking about? It's really wide ranging. You heard him talk about medical sales and insurance sales and chiropractic sales. So anything that's a service, whether you have a brick and mortar or you're like fresh to online or you've been totally online based, you can use this. And then I also work with people who are selling coaching offers, consulting services, courses, online courses, and then affiliate offers if you're actually promoting other people's offers. So, all right, can we have fun together, you guys? That's what I really want, because I know we can't see your faces, but I still want to have fun. I'm kind of a goofy person, and I also have a little something to give away, a little gift, a little giveaway for engaging with me and just hanging out in this hour. So let's get started. You can do that by answering one of the following questions. What do you offer? What do you sell? Or who do you serve, right? Pop that in the chat right now. Bonus points if you answer this last question too. Are you a coffee, tea, or bourbon drinker? All right, cool. Darius, you can rattle off a couple of things you're seeing too in the chat.
Yeah, I was going to say, go back. Can you go back?
Yes.
Questions. Okay, yeah. All right, cool. So let's answer them in here, guys, because this is going to provide some data for us too, because what we're going to do is follow up with people after, and we'd love to provide you some training specific stuff based on your industry and things like that. So we'll be doing some follow up here. So answer the questions. It'll help us help you. Let me see here. Bourbon and coffee. Nice. Well, let me move the Zoom.
That's my kind of person.
Yeah. Okay. And then so the offer here, guys, these questions are really important, and the who do you serve, probably one of the most important pieces here, because having your key audience is dialed in is really vastly important, especially when we're trying to create a new initiative, when we're trying to go out on social, because you can post something there, and when we're speaking to everyone, we're kind of speaking to no one. So who do you serve is really, really critically important there to keep your audience in line and keep your messaging on point with your audience. So important questions here and to think about on a deep level, not just like, oh, I sell consulting, what type of consulting, of course, your business better than anyone else, but really these are some deep questions. So answer them up for us.
Yeah, and pop them in the chat for what applies right now. Remember, this can shift over time for you and your business. And then the big question here, hopefully the answer to this is yes if you're here, but could you use more sales? Yes, no, maybe, circle one. Put that in the chat, put even a 1 in. If that's all you've got is a finger, just put a 1 in the chat if you could use more sales. So 2020 has been weird, you guys, right? Like that's the thing. It's been like this, wait a second, what's happening? Hold my stuff. What are we doing? What's happening in the world? And so that's why this becomes even more and more powerful. So in the midst of all this chaos, you guys, there is opportunity. And that's the thing to remember. A Forbes article has talked about that in stressful times, such as the crisis we're experiencing with the COVID pandemic, more than half of US customers surveyed said they wanted phone or voice options, and distantly followed by text, which would be like an email alone at 17.6%, chat or even direct message, and email, right? So what that's saying is people want to talk to a human. And I will say that video is that next best thing you can do. And then according to this Medium article, they're saying, according to studies, the viewer of a video remembers 95% of a message when it's watched, whereas only 10% when it's read. So that's why video is crushing it, even in this crisis, pandemic, strange world we're in.
Engagement is such a huge deal too, like actually remembering and understanding information. Like words on a page, people can just glaze over, but when it's a video, you're connecting to them as a person, and it's a completely different experience. It's really not the same. So a lot of the times it's going to be not only the message is going to be clicked on more, like we showed you what the video looks like in an email. You have this long body of text versus that video with their information on it. Which of those is going to be clicked more? It's kind of a not really a hard question. And then when you're actually on that page, like say you got them to click a link or you got to actually watch your video, which of that information is going to retain better? Where you delivered it to them and they engaged with it and they interacted with it. Maybe they clicked the CTA or they just read some information in an email or like a social message. The level of engagement that you're getting from a video is just not comparable to plain emails. And the best part of what Dubb does is makes it scalable. I guarantee you could make a video quicker than you could write a long email, unless you're like a 120 word typist and you can perfect and no errors. Like unless you're that, video is going to be faster, I guarantee it, and it's going to be better. So continue. Sorry.
Yeah, completely agree, man. So I'm Paige, you guys, if you don't know me, and I founded Kismet Ideas in 2013. So we do website design and we're moving also into training and education spaces. I have a bachelor's in finance, dual master's from USC. Ruben, I saw your shirt, fight on. I'm an Ironman finisher and I did that for charity. I'm also a speaker and a TV host. That's right. And I've got a show coming out on Apple TV about women's entrepreneurship that comes out this fall. I'm a Fulbright alumni ambassador and I live that laptop lifestyle. So I've been super blessed. I've been able to travel and live in the countries you see here. Bonus points in the chat if you can guess which one of these countries I may have lived in based on just glancing at the flags and switching the slides. So I'm excited to see those guesses. These are just a look at some of the portfolio work we've done. And website design was such a passion for me that I used my master's in journalism as well to use story and narrative to press forward with conversions. So I've had some pretty fun client wins, an $86,000 first launch for their training program for Believe Investment Group, 100K in donations that came in through Yacht Aid Global's website after Hurricane Irma, which literally saved people's lives, which was really cool because they were delivering supplies to the Caribbean. National brand recognition for Trifecta Gala. They actually had Usher come and perform at their last event, and a 21K week for our client Reset with Miranda. So it's been fun creating all this stuff. And at the same time, as an agency owner, I see the gaps. So people come to us for their funnels and their automations, which is really super great when you're already have that momentum behind you. And first, sales, right? And so in addition to the more complex funnels and the structures and the automations in your websites and your systems, you use Dubb. So these aren't mutually exclusive. It's just like, hey, if you want to get sales right away, this is the fastest, simplest process for doing it. Again, what kind of sales? It really can vary across the board. And I want to show you guys some examples of things that have worked for me as well. So here's the problem is, go ahead.
One second. Yeah, one thing about when we say the term sales, guys, this means, like if you're in recruitment, if you're in anything, it's technically like a sales role. That's when we say the term sales. You're going after opportunities. You can call it business development, or you can call it anything you want, but that's what we're referring to when we're talking about sales. We're talking about anything where you're in a role that is designed to increase revenue. You're making appointments, you're making deals. We can call it what it is, but we're calling it sales. And that is a kind of big encompassing term of all kind of business development. So that's all. I just wanted to preface that because I know we have a lot of people in here. They're from all over. We're providing trainings and we're doing, like I saw a couple recruiters, TV host summits. So like all kinds of stuff. And it's all about creating opportunities. So anything in that world where we're trying to grow, that's the sales world. So even partnerships, like people that just do partnerships and it's not a sales thing. That's the same thing. We're still talking about the same thing. So
yes. Getting your service out there to people. And also I think it can be used for a side income. If you're a full-time parent or you're just now thinking about doing something on the internet, this is a really great tool to promote something that you love if you can make some affiliate income from that as well. So yeah, awesome. So the problem in my industry specifically, and this may not apply to you, maybe you've not heard this, but tell me in the chat if you've heard any of this stuff. People are saying that you need a fancy schmancy funnel, right? You got to have all the integrations. You need a massive Facebook group to be able to make offers to. You need to grow first a big audience or a big email list. You need to be doing all the SEO and the blogging and the YouTube and go out Gary Vaynerchuk style and like put your content every single place. And yes, that's great for long term, but what about right now? And that you need these automated webinar funnels and things to be super advanced and dialed in and totally evergreen and hands off. Well, the truth is you don't really need that, right? Because has that ever made you feel any of these ways? Overwhelmed with the tech, nervous on camera to show up because you're not 100% confident in what you're doing or what you're offering, feeling like you need a bigger audience before you can actually make an impact, which is totally crazy. You can start where you are. Not sure why you happen to be showing up constantly, but you're not making sales, right? Have you ever felt like that? Or you feel like you know what you need to be doing, but you're just not doing it, which I think is pretty common, especially when you are now working from home and, you know, maybe you're wearing pajama bottoms from the waist down, and that's totally cool, but I'm going to help you guys with that. So if you just give me a few minutes, I hope to give you some years back on your life by reducing the stress of what you think you have to do right now. I want to show you how to build mini funnels using the power of video storytelling that will shift the way you look at taking your life and business to the next level, because it doesn't have to be hard. And the thing that I love about my laptop lifestyle is I can use my phone app, record a dub, set it up within seconds, and send it out. And that can make a big difference for me in my life. So you guys know this. Who knows this? Put this in the chat. Who knows where this came from? But this is what I'm going to talk about. And I'm going to try and be very quick because I know I want to be mindful of everyone's time. But I'm just going to keep it simple. Number one, I'm going to show you how to simplify the tech, which Darius has actually already showed a lot of. So I'm going to kind of go through that quickly. Number two, how to amplify your conversions and your sales, you know, whatever that means for you, collecting email address, booking phone calls, or actually getting the dollar, you know, credit card exchange. And then three, how to make it repeatable, right? How to, even though you know you need to do it, but you're not doing it, how to get past that. And then if you guys are open to it, I'm going to make a super simple offer for me to be able to help you. I've got some Q&A, and then I've got that surprise gift that I want to give away at the end here. So first, let's simplify the tech, which you already know. My answer is Dubb. But if you're sitting here, I live in this funnel-y world. So if you're like, hey, what's a funnel? Why does she keep saying funnel? Is it funnel cakes? No, it's a sequence of landing pages that walk your ideal clients through the buying process. Here's where people usually send traffic, is to a busy website. So if you are reaching out on LinkedIn, but then you're sending them back to a website that's got 25 menu items, it's got 15 drop downs, it's got a whole blog roll, it's got a massive like scroll for days, you probably need to be, you know, taking a break from your job to read the copy to figure out what it is that's on there, you're probably losing people and they're bouncing off, right? So the goal is to be intentional about the journey you're taking people on, one page at a time, or as I like to say, one logical human step at a time, okay? You guys, I talked fast, so please tell me if I need to slow down, but this is where all of this came from a couple of years ago. You know, the funnel godfather, Russell Brunson, was the CEO of ClickFunnels, and at the time I thought this was it. This was the end all be all. I want to be one of these 2 Comma Club award winners, right? And I drank all the Kool-Aids, and I love it, and I still love it to this day because I use funnels in our business and we help people set them up, right? And so I live it and breathe it. However, where we go? I went backwards. However, here's the amount of education that I've learned over the last couple of years. There's reverse squeeze page funnels and squeeze page funnels and sales letter funnels and 2-step tripwire funnels and video sales letter funnels and product launch funnels, and holy moly, right? And so do you need a funnel? Yes, right? A human logical buying process for people to take the next step with you? Yes, but does it need to be complex? No. And especially if you're not ready for that level of complexity, right? I said, if you're already making consistent 10K months, great. Let's get this really long checklist we have here, dial in, put together every single detail and make these funnels work. But if you're ready for it to be easy, let's make it easy, because according to this Forbes quote that I love, complexity erodes profit margins by gradually increasing your costs and slowing down day-to-day business efficiency. When you eradicate the complexity, you are far more likely to build a successful business. Plus, you're more likely to have fun. Like, can I get an amen to fun? Like, can this be fun? So that's why the mini video funnel is where it's at. You can make as many of these as quickly as you want. And when you can implement ideas quickly, you can build that confidence, you can build that clarity, you can build those 10K plus beyond months, right? And you can do it in a fun and simple way where you don't have to have a massive checklist. And so that's why the power of Dubb has changed my life. So last year alone, I was able to stand out from the crowd. These are videos specifically tagged for our prospects, and we generated over 100K of website design business because I was standing out. I was one of the only people that would respond to their request for a quote with a video, screen flowing through their website going, hey, if you made that update, if you changed this, if you added an opt-in here, have you thought about this? And I just freely gave value and gave suggestions, and it landed deals. So that's one way to think about even potentially using this, is you stand out by doing video first. Okay. All right, you guys, that was number one, right? Number two is let's amplify the conversions and your sales, right? And here's the way to do that. There's this common quote that facts tell and stories sell. Think about what your most enjoyable moment is when you have friends over for game night or a dinner, right? It's when you guys are telling stories. When you're goofing off and telling stories. Stories are as old as like human bones, you know, human DNA in general, right? We converse through stories, we remember things through stories, and that's why just blowing people up with brochures and flyers, or just telling people what your offer is or what your service is without telling a story, is probably not working for you. It's the equivalent of dropping a flyer on their dashboard, right? And just like on their car and hoping that they'll read it. Now, do you want to tell the facts about your program? Yes, tell it through the arc of a story, right? And so that's the thing that I really love. And I think this is the part where I could do an entire presentation just on this alone. Most people, what they miss in the story arc is this middle dip here. You guys see this like valley here in the middle? Typically people tell a story like this. They'll say, oh, well, you know, here's where I was at, or here's the common problem in the industry. And then I figured this one thing out, and then everything took off from there. It was smooth sailing. It was amazing. Nothing ever hard happened again, and everything worked out perfectly. And do you want to join, right? Well, that's missing that middle valley, right? You have to bring people in along the way to go, oh, I heard your small wins, then I heard that you're human, and you actually went through like some other challenges and some roadblocks, and then you thought about different things, you had to approach things differently, and then you finally arrived at something that you now want to share with me, and you're inviting me to join you on the journey. So I hope this is making sense. Like I said, I can do an entire masterclass just on this framework alone. And there's a lot of people who have talked about and done the statistics behind the stories and how the story arc can actually help you make your offer easier.
Like a super simple way of thinking about this is like conversationally too. Like when you're having a conversation with someone about your product or service, you know, the barrier part is the hesitation. It's that 75% of people, they don't just go, oh, that sounds great, sign me up. You know, there are all those people, but then there's also the majority of people that are going to say, okay, that sounds good, but what about this and what about that? And I've experienced this before. And then so when we, as part of the storytelling, can address those barriers and those hesitations up front, it creates a dialogue and that trust and that authority, all those great things that help move them down our funnel and into our business. So the barriers is this huge thing, overcoming them, and then, you know, preemptively overcoming them, saying, I know what you guys are thinking, and here's the problems. And that's a huge part of every message. So like a short example of this could all be done in like a 1-minute video. You could say like a 1-minute custom video, reaching out to someone, you're saying, hey, you know, I wanted to reach out to you because we're experiencing these problems. I know you guys are going through this right now. Or on the positive, say, hey, I know you guys just got a round of funding and you're probably going through all these things right now. And we've worked with other people that are doing this, but these are some problems you're probably facing. And these are some real issues. And you know what, this is what we've done to help people overcome these. And this is where we've ended up. And so all that could happen within 1 minute, 90 seconds. And again, that's the idea here, is where you know, it can be really short, and it can be longer. Some stories need time to tell, and those can be you know, the idea here is this doesn't have to be a super long thing. It can be short too. So that's my point there, is the story can be all told within like a conversation. It doesn't have to be over a long process.
Yes, exactly. An inception-like example here would be my story, where, you know, I started out going, oh, I can work from anywhere in the world with my laptop. And then I heard about this ClickFunnels thing and all these funnels and running ads to them and doing this. And I started to see some incremental success, but then I started getting overwhelmed. I was logging into 5 different softwares and I was like, okay, I made a few sales, but now I'm just stuck. Days and weeks go by where I'm like finagling sales page copy and I'm just not getting enough stuff done. Then I discovered Dubb and realized that you could actually tell these stories really quickly through video, put out a landing page that loads instantaneously, and then have people join you through the buying process. And when I realized that, I started focusing on the story I was telling. When I started telling stories that made it easy for me at the end to say, now that I have a way through this, if you want to join me, come join me. And when that all happened, it becomes super peaceful and simple for me to say, hey, if you want to come join, let's do it. It's not really a salesy thing anymore. It's just an offer for us to go and do this hand in hand. So I just wanted to show this real quick.
On the barrier, sorry, one more thing on the barrier there. We were actually kind of a meta moment there because we were talking about barriers like, oh man, I have to come up with a crazy long story. That's the barrier. No, we don't have to come up with an extremely long story. It can be something really short and sweet and simple. We've all gone through this conversation where you get someone on the phone and then you have this, oh, okay, this sounds interesting. And they're like, but what about this? And like, you've already had this conversation and you just telling that story about the conversation is exactly that. So that's what I mean there too, kind of a meta moment. Meta is when you're kind of self-reflexive and looking at what we're doing. So we're talking about barriers and explaining a barrier at the same time. So
yeah, I love it. Yeah, and that barrier is what makes us feel connected, even though we're actually isolated, but hopefully not for too much longer. Yeah. I don't even know if I need to reiterate this because I feel like everybody here is like, woo, video. Like if you don't get, I did see a question in the chat, I think, Andrew, that was from you, that said, what happens with deliverability rates? This last stat here talks about 200 to 300%, an increase in click-through rates when there's a video, especially if it's, and I'll show you guys some screenshots, but normally what I do, because there's that animated GIF, I'll be like waving my arms or like big peace signs so that there's a lot of movement in that GIF. And then when the title says like, hey, Susan's gonna click on that video, right? So you do get a lot more click-through as well. But anyway, this is just talking about how basically I think video is king or queen these days. I think you guys probably get that, but these are some stats. I've done my research.
Right.
Okay,
we talk about the stats, facts tell, stats sell. So that's the facts. We got to drop them. Those aren't arbitrary numbers. Those are real numbers from real data. Tons and tons of data out there on the effectiveness of video messaging and stuff. So we didn't talk a whole lot. There was the slide there because, again, we're more about the results and the storytelling, but the proof is out there. So don't take our word for it. It's all out there. Plenty of peer-reviewed sources showing the effectiveness. So definitely check those out. If you're one of those people like, I need to see the proof for myself, it's out there. Right. Just Google one of these stats. You'll find four articles, citing it. Big companies like Cisco and all kinds of stuff. So it's out there.
Yeah. I've got to always do the research. I'm a little bit of a nerd too. I mean, three degrees, so you can't stop me. You guys, okay, pop quiz. This is what Darius was talking about earlier. Which one is already immediately more engaging? Which one would you click on and interact with, A or B? A or B? Pop it in the chat. A or B? Hopefully, if you're still there. Pop it in the chat. Okay, what'd you guys say? If you said A, then maybe you've never heard this phrase before, but a confused mind will never buy, or this term called analysis paralysis. I click on these all the time from people's Instagrams and I'm just like, where do I go next, right? If you said B, then I agree with you. I completely agree with you. And not only that, but you can build them lightning fast. This is the part of my presentation. I was gonna show you guys the components of what you can include on these pages that make them super simple for people to click to the next page. But Darius has already done us the beauty of that and talked about the possibilities. Instantaneously, those landing pages are created. Oh, mind-blowing, that's amazing, that's incredible. Then you can also link to other pages, other Dubb pages, other videos. You can also link to other outside pages, anything you have on a website, WordPress, whatever, Wix, wherever you have it. You can get calls booked. There's calendar integrations. You can collect payments through here. You can collect emails. You can do webinar registrations. You can do automated emails and SMS follow-up. You can also, there's a CRM feature. There's so much, and these guys continue to keep innovating, which is what excites me so much. This was the part I was going to show you how easy it is to use, but Darius has already showed you that. So I want to move to my third. I want to move to my third and final point, if that's okay. Is everybody keeping up? I know I have a tendency to talk fast.
Yeah, one thing about the creation part there is, I made it look really easy because we make it super easy. If you guys have ever tried to build landing pages from scratch, it's not easy. Coming in here, you're going to design it, you have to find the right image, building your laptop. I mean your buttons, any additional videos. Like, to make this landing page from scratch is going to take you some time. Like, an hour probably, at least, unless you're lightning fast, maybe a little bit quicker. But pages like this really take time, and if you can make 100 of these in like 20 minutes or something, so it's just not comparable. So we didn't talk a little bit about the real problems with generating pages like this, but anyone that's been in the trenches knows that these things take time, and that's really what we've tried to provide the biggest help for, is eliminating the barriers, overcoming the obstacles, and just making this simpler than it for anyone to use. Which is the other part of this too, is going to be, what we do, because I know we had some questions about like editing and things like that. And so that is also part of what we'll be discussing here at the end. So we'll answer some more questions at the end. Stay tuned. Your answers are coming.
Yeah, I was gonna say real quick, sorry to interrupt. I was gonna say that there was this idea, I think at one point, many, many years ago, that the production that we would put into something, i.e. the more time we would produce something, the better the quality, the better the result would be. And at some point, that got flipped, because the problem with spending a lot of production time on videos, on landing pages, on emails, is that they take time. There's a lot of iteration. There's a lot of things that have to go in. There's CSS, there's HTML, there's landing pages, there's mobile responsiveness. The list goes on, And by requiring all the time to produce those types of assets, we're taking time away from being ourselves. And to Paige's point, video storytelling, really communicating with people on an authentic level so that they can get to know us. So this is precisely what's catalyzed so much of our functionality, that, if we can all be video first, if we can all focus on the storytelling, the tech can kind of create itself automatically. Yes, there's a little bit of an investment. Darius mentioned presets, we've got playlists. There is an account setup perspective, but there is a world where you can quickly create videos that take 30 seconds, 60 seconds, that you can send to 20,000 people, which is exactly why we're all here right now, because that's what had happened for us. We created a video that took us a couple of minutes, and it was actually based on a live video. And then that is what made this webinar possible. So, minimum production, maximum output, maximum results.
Yes, Ruben, that's so true. It's all about the heart-centered approach, right? It's about what I'm saying in this video. And as a web designer, I thought that at first. I thought, it has to be unique, it has to be beautiful, it has to have rolling animations, and all of that stuff just took me time. And the time I like to talk to my clients about, it's energy leaks. And as your energy is leaking, doing all of these things and trying to get the things that don't actually have a return on investment put together, it's sucking the energy out of just being yourself and filling up your own cup, right? And then showing up and serving. So this page right here on this screenshot took no longer than 90 seconds after the video was done recording to add the buttons, put a little description. So that's how quickly this can happen.
Two things that we're talking about there. One is diminishing returns. The point of diminishing returns, like how much more work are you putting into something before you're actually losing, and the other thing is opportunity cost. All that time that you spent doing that, what could you have been doing that was more productive? How much is your time worth per hour? This is the thing that real estate agents calculate all the time. And because their time, depending on their what they're making, can be very, very valuable, and they're spending it doing less valuable things that can be done automatically. So opportunity cost is huge. And then the point of diminishing returns, like a lot of people have this thing with like video quality. I mean, we're not opposed to that, but for like, when you think about it, do you think a 1080p versus a 4K or a 1080p versus a 720, is there going to be a vastly different amount of conversions from that if everything else is the same? Probably not. If the audio quality is maybe just a little bit less than if it was like a high-end mic with all the expensive stuff, Probably not. So there's all these little barriers that people try to put in front of themselves, like, oh, I need an HD, or I need a DSLR webcam hooked up with this, and then I need the full lighting, the expensive lighting equipment, and then I need a professional, like the $120 Rode mic thing, and it's all kind of not necessary at all. You can use your cell phone and your built-in laptop webcam. So point being is, don't let opportunity cost and diminishing returns get in the way of success.
Yes, absolutely, completely agree. It's just me and some sunlight and a laptop, and that's normally where I'm shooting all of these videos. And this screenshot was taken well before I started using the playlist feature. Now, the playlist feature, when I talk to people, you've got the one-to-one approach. So I can send a video and say, hey, Darius, check this thing out. Here's what's going on. What you want to move forward, click the button. But you can also create a scenario, because people will say, well, I don't have time for that. First of all, if you're not hitting 10, 20, 30K months, you do have time to send out one-on-one outreach, because it can take 30 seconds at a time, especially with Dubb. And then the other approach is using the playlist to create that simple intro video that then is immediately followed by a video that you recorded, maybe with a screen share presentation or going more in depth. So I'm going to show you guys, I have some examples of how I did that. So let me keep going if that's cool, but I'm absolutely in love with this. Talked about the possibilities here, and you guys probably are seeing it. You've seen how easy it is. So the last thing I want to say, because this is truly heartfelt, is I want to see you guys have success with this. And the third thing is, how do we make it, let's make it repeatable. Because so often, and I've hosted in-person workshops where I've taught people how Dubb works and how this works and the power of this, and they'll do one and then stop, right? Because accountability is the key ingredient, hands down. Put in the chat if you could ever use a little bit more accountability in your life in some form or fashion, in some sort of area. The American Society of Training and Development found, I love this quote, I always come back to this for my own purposes. They found that people are 65% more likely to meet a goal after committing to another person. Their chances increase by 95% when they build in ongoing meetings with their partners to check in on their progress. You guys, you're 95% more likely to reach your goals when you check in with people regularly. So just keep that in mind. That might be the reason why you've only had a limited success, or you're struggling to show up every day and record something, is you might not be surrounding yourself with an accountability group that can help you reach those goals. So if you guys are cool with it, I just want to tell you what I've got going on right now, and I'll be brief about it if that works. I created this program called Kismet Story Selling Academy to use your story to make sales authentically and be yourself. And I created this because I had personally invested over $20,000 in my online education from all these gurus telling me to do all this fancy stuff. And when it came down to it, using those certain lines of scarcity or trying to trick people into a sale just didn't work for me anymore. And I wanted it to be totally heartfelt, story oriented. So what is this? In brief, in a nutshell, you guys, it's all about the accountability. It's a 30-day mindset and tech accountability program for making sales with video story selling, right? Using Dubb, cat's out of the bag. It's exactly how we're going to do it. And it's really about having the accountability you need to record your way to a sale a day. Right now, I have videos that I shot for 10 minutes that are still generating revenue because I took the time to record those. So I want to encourage people to do that as well. Why am I doing this? Because now more than ever, people crave authenticity and connection because we're feeling isolated. We're feeling, even when we go out and eat on a patio at some restaurant, we're still feeling isolated and alone. So you can use video storytelling as a way to actually connect on a deep level with people. So that's why I'm doing it, because I feel like it matters now more than ever. Because first is you need to get sales so you can make more income, so you can make more impact, right? And that's what this program is about. It'll bring you the systems and the accountability to make those consistent sales fast. Because the truth is, the reason why, if you said you want more sales, is either one, you're not making enough offers, or two, you're overcomplicating the entire tech and the process, because it does not have to be complicated. And I believe that's when it's fun, it flows, right? So when you're having fun and it feels like a party and it feels simple and easy, right? That's when it can happen for you. And so I'm on a mission to help make sales fun again with a relationship building approach. And I call it my 1 hour funnel approach because You can put these things together in actually 15 minutes or 10 minutes or even 45 seconds. I've done it before, but I'll be conservative. You can build these funnels in an hour, tops, max, right? And it's seriously simple human-centered sales. So this is a screenshot of a video I shot in my bedroom. I shared it organically with people on Facebook and Instagram. And this 10 minutes that I took to do this and tell a story about something that I had researched and something I thought was a cool opportunity actually resulted in 5K of affiliate sales within a week. Totally organic, right? Like, I should probably share this more. I should boost this post because it's a no-brainer, right? Okay, guys, when does story selling start? It starts the week of September 14th, which is next week. It's like already happening. It's actually starting Tuesday, the 15th of September. This program is hands-on. It's not meant to be like this course that you log into by yourself. You're showing up and we're doing it together. But I will be going through and training on easy peasy branding, the tech setup. There will be no questions. Like, between Darius and Ruben and I, like, we've got you guys covered. You should be set up with Dubb in minutes, in a half hour. It's not going to be this long drawn out thing. I'm going to show you how to do a nice logo if you don't have one. Super easy peasy branding. Week 2, we're going to go through the story selling framework in depth so that you know exactly how to tell your stories that make it easy to make that offer at the end, that make people compelled to actually take the next step with you, right? Week 3, we're going to be going through the foundational tech empowerment. So what I mean by that is all of those other things, all those other feature sets you can use. We're going to be going through each and every single one of those, so you don't have to like go figure it out yourself or go YouTube it or even go into the learning library, which they have such amazing assets with Dubb. But I'm actually going to be walking through every single one live together, and you're going to go, oh, that clicks, I need that right away. Oh, that's going to be phase 2 for me. I'll come back to that. I feel empowered to go check that out later. So that's what that is. Week 4, fortunes in the follow-up workshops. We're going to be talking about systematizing your follow-up because the average person needs 6 to 7 touch points before they decide to move forward with you. As a bonus, the whole thing is really based on this bonus, is the fact that we're showing up twice weekly on accountability calls. Twice, it's like 4, but twice a week on Zoom video calls. Everybody will have their video on. I'll be holding that space. Everyone's going to have a chance to talk, tell their stories, talk through any challenges, talk through any mindset blocks, talk through your goals for the week. That's what we're going to be doing. Those calls right now are going to be at 1 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays and Thursdays, unless we vote otherwise as a group next week to adjust that time. The other bonus is that there's a private Facebook group, and there's also a members area. You have the ability to ask any question. That's my goal. I've been in programs where I feel like I'm a fly on the wall and there's a million other people and I don't get my questions answered. That's not this. That's not the scenario at all, because I'm right here for anything that you have. All right, you guys, these are I have 2 bonuses in addition to these that I want to express. I have a video audit with personalized feedback, and there's only 3 spots remaining. I initially said 5, I bumped it to 10. I've already got 7 spoken for, so I have 3 spaces remaining. And what this is during the course of the 30-day program, you can send me your full video, whether it's a 1.5 minutes or it's a 10-minute long story. I will watch it all the way through. I will record you a personalized video. I'll send it back with my feedback on how you can improve that story so people will take the next step with you. Cool? Cool? Sound cool? And this last fast action bonus, and by fast, I mean really fast. If you decide by the end of this call to jump into this, there's a good shot that you'll have a chance to grab one of these. But I am doing one-on-one goal setting kickoff sessions on Zoom. So you and I, for a full hour on Zoom, will talk about exactly what you're going to offer, what you should be focused on, what your revenue goals are for those 30 days, how we're going to stay focused on, crushing any gremlins that might be in your head or might have held you back in the past. And you're going to just go, I'm ready to roll. These are happening. There's only 1 spot remaining tomorrow, because I've got 5 calls already on my calendar tomorrow. There's 1 spot remaining tomorrow. And there are, I think, 4 or 5 spots available for Friday, September 11th. So if this sounds like you, this is first comes, first serve. So I want you to sign up. And the first email you get from me when you enroll, it says, hey, here's the link, book it on my calendar. So then you can do that. So in summary, you guys, it's 4 weeks. We're going to do the easy peasy branding. You're going to have the tech set up. We're going to go through the story selling framework. You're going to be walked through all of that. We'll have a foundational tech empowerment, the fortunes and the follow-up, right? Talking about how you can systematize that approach of reaching back to people. As the bonus, we have those 2 times a week accountability calls, right, together. And then we have the other bonus is the private Facebook group and a members area for asking any questions that you have at any point. And as an early bird bonus, I have 3 more spaces left for the video audit. Those are probably, I'm feeling like those are going to get snagged right away. And then I've got about 5 or 6 different one-on-one calls that are first come, first serve basis that are tomorrow and Friday of this week. Okay. I know I just threw a lot at you guys, but and give me one sec. I'm seeing that this isn't plugged in.
Oh.
There it is. Sweet. Okay, you guys. So I'm offering like so much support. It's all about community. And I told these guys, Darius and Ruben, I was like, I want to eventually price this at $19.99. This is my founding member price to you guys, and something I wanted to do special as well for the Dubb audience. So it's $4.97 to jump in with me for the 30 days. And if you're selling anything of value, that should be a return on your money immediately. Plus, this is going to have lifetime access to the members area for any updated trainings that go in there, including any new features that I know Dubb are going to continue to launch. And then you will be using a Dubb software, so you'll cover that subscription on your end. And I know these guys can talk to you about pricing options if you want to do that as well. So by the end of this program, my goal for you is to have more sales. Like, cut into the chase. It's going to be super simple. That's what it's about. Just growing your email list, if that's something you've been doing or you need to start doing, having more confidence making your offers, a story telling skill that will actually be used for the rest of your life to grow your business. Landing pages already set up with videos that are going to make you money as you continue to grow, right? And it's going to build that foundation of a 6-figure sales process. And then new friends and memories, right? Who doesn't want that? I feel like everybody wants that these days. So yeah, this is my last example for you guys. This is another very meta example of how I've used this. In 2 to 3 hours maximum, I filmed these personalized videos for people that I knew I could serve, sent them out, and then had a playlist feature where it played the program brief for story selling. And through that, and just doing it 3 hours of work, generated $3,500 in sales for this program. And we have some rock star people that are going to be in there as well. So that's what I want to help you guys do. The next step is to enroll, and as soon as you get that email, schedule the one-to-one so that they don't fill up and you don't miss out. If you miss out, don't worry. That's the whole program's got group interaction. You can ask me anything on those calls. Use the founding member code, founding member 497 for that 497 price. And you can go to kismetideas.com/story selling. So I've got a couple more slides, but I want to make sure you guys get this.
Yep.
Maybe someone can type it in the chat. kismetideas.com/story selling. Sweet. Ruben, did you have anything you wanted to pop in?
No, love it.
Cool. I'm excited. It's all about having the accountability, right? Because it's more than just, the tech's easy. These guys are rock stars. They've made the tech easy. Yeah, I'll teach you guys the tech.
I wanted to say that exactly is like the reason we really wanted to partner with Paige too is because this is something that we haven't provided historically is the accountability and the follow-up and this level of kind of hand-holding and then helping people get over that. So we talked about some barriers. I know these are some barriers that many people are facing. And so we thought we would benefit a large part of our audience by making this offer available to them, because we know that accountability is huge and that we're so busy moving forward and building tech, we don't always have the time to come back and then help kind of keep people getting over the finish line. So this is part of our initiative to help people do that. We're going to be having more of these webinars with our partners and opportunities coming. So stay tuned for those. And then, yeah, the reason we did this today is exactly that. We wanted to provide accountability, we provide our people an opportunity to kind of get feet first in. And we know many of you guys are often subscribed. I recognize some of you from the channel, Heidi, some others. So thank you guys for coming. And yeah, so this is an opportunity for you guys to kind of dive in a little bit further than even what we've offered traditionally with our kind of onboarding. It's all about the tech from where bringing you on, and what she's done is really more about the story side of it. So
yeah. Amazing. And then if you guys have questions, I'm happy to stick around and answer any and all questions. Also, I've got this, that's supposed to be a video. Hold on, there it is. It's gonna play. Watch it. Watch it. Super sweet little mug we got going on here.
Oh, pretty cool.
To remind yourself that you are innately a storyteller. So this is my giveaway. Ruben, since you've been in the chat, you get to pick someone who's been engaged. You can randomize it or whatnot, and then tell us who the winner of the storyteller mug will be.
All right, so the winner is, are you ready? Wait for it. The winner is Lynn Schussler Williams. Sorry for slaughtering your last name.
Lynn, you know I'm excited about this, love. That's so exciting. I actually know Lynn. Lynn is joining us in story selling. So Lynn, spoiler alert, you're also going to get one of these. Ruben, let's pick out a second winner.
Okay, all right. So I will be back in just a moment with that winner.
Yeah, awesome.
I have just so everyone knows, I have nonstop been typing. I have not stopped typing for the last 20 minutes. The questions have been immense. I'm so impressed with some of the ideas, the feature recommendations, what people are looking to use Dubb for, new opportunities. Like, I've learned so much just by fielding some of these responses. So thank you to everyone for bringing us your notes. And I think I've responded to pretty much all of them. I think, Darius, there was one question that maybe you could answer, which is, if an email campaign is sent out and then there's certain activity, i.e. email open, email click, call to action click, can there be an automated way or a tagged-based way to create a new campaign to just send to those folks?
Absolutely. So this is one thing I was going to talk about. We didn't actually mention it, is the different options for Dubb pricing. So there's really two tiers, guys. We have there is the free trial, which I do recommend if you've never checked it out, check out the free trial and explore. But we have our Pro plan and then our Pro Plus. So to answer your question, yes, we do absolutely have that, and it's called our automation feature. So when someone watches a video or clicks a CTA, you can base a whole sequence of emails to go out based off of that. So if you have a call to action which says, yes, I want to learn more, or I'm in, or whatever the button says, that then goes and triggers whatever you want it to do, whether it's 1 email, 5 emails, text messages, you name it. So that is part of the Dubb automation. And that is what's included in our Pro Plus plan. So there's the Pro and the Pro Plus. The main difference there is the automations included with Pro Plus. So one is $40, I'm going to put these amounts in the chat. One is $40 per month, or $384 per year. And that's our standard plan. That one does not include automation. It includes everything else we talked about, which is the campaigns, the creation, the customization, all that. The other plan is the Pro Plus, which is $99 per month, or $960 per year. And that includes access to the automation as well as a dedicated account manager. So someone like myself, maybe myself, where we would be able to meet and discuss anything technically. Of course, if you're taking advantage of Paige's offer as well, she can support you on everything that she's providing, the story selling and anything like that. And then we still are here for like API, technical integration, anything like that. So that's the difference really between our Pro and our Pro Plus is automation, which, to answer Ruben's question or the other person's question, is yes, we can respond automatically to sequences. And yeah, that's the main difference. Automation and dedicated account rep, someone from our team we can meet up with. So that is the difference between the two plans, Pro and Pro Plus. The prices are in there, 40 per month or 100 per month.
Nice.
All panelists and attendees. Wow, that was awesome. Thank you for catching that, because all my comments, I guess, were only going to panelists. So good catch there. Let's see, panelists and everyone. And here is, okay, Michelle pasted the link for us. Okay, so that's the totals. Thank you for Michelle for catching that. Okay, I got another call, guys. I got to jump onto. Anything else? Anything else before we leave here?
We have our winner.
Ruben, I can't hear you. Oh, that's my volume. You're good. Go
okay,
ahead.
So the second winner is Heidi. Heidi.
Yay, I'm so happy.
Heidi Brighton Moser. Yes.
Yay.
I chose Heidi because she has another very difficult last name to pronounce, and I just wanted to challenge myself. So Heidi Breitenmoser, I hope I'm not messing that last name up.
Nice.
Heidi, congratulations on the mug. That's a beautiful mug.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. All right, Heidi, I'm going to put my email address here in the chat. It's paige@kismetideas.com.
And
Send
then,
me
like I
your
said,
email.
we'll be doing some follow-up and everything as well, too. So we'll have emails exchanged and everything here as well. So
Awesome. You all, thank you so much. I'm honored. I'm blessed. I appreciate this time so much. For those of you guys jumping into story selling, it's going to be so much fun. It's going to be amazing. And I'm just really, thank you so much. I'm overjoyed with gratitude right now.
absolutely.
Thank you so much, Paige. We will follow up with some links for some great stuff here. Thanks to everyone for the attendance. Appreciate it.
Thanks again, guys. Bye-bye. Have a good one.